And the rupee slumped to a record low in early trade today, and bond yields hit another 5-year high as Asia's third largest economy bore the brunt of growing money flows out of the emerging market. The rupee slumped as much as 1.6% to 64.13 to the dollar, adding to its 2.3% rate on Monday, before traders said the RBI was seen stepping in to sell dollars. As part of the measure by the central bank, and government has failed to hold this slide, with liquidity tightening measures aimed at making it harder to short the currency, pushing up borrowing rates and battering corporate and investment sentiments. Well, it's been more than 66 years that India got independence, and at the time of independence, the rupee was at par with the American dollars. But now, down the line of 66 years, we have seen that rupee has depreciated more than 62 times. What is the reason behind it? We'll definitely try to get into that. Right now, we have with us eminent panelists with us to talk about on the rupee free fall. We have with us Mr. Manjit Gogoi from Alpari Financial Services, the regional director. We also have a market analyst, Dr. D. Sundarajan, who will definitely track the market. As we have seen here, along with the rupee, the market has also seen quite a downfall in spite of little bit changes we have seen in the market in the just few minutes. We'll also have over the phone line Pramit Brahmavat from Alpari Financial Services. We'll first start with the Manjit. Manjit, welcome DD News.
Thank you so much.
We have seen here the rupee now. Of course, a major questions lies here as far as the rupee is concerned. A downfall we have seen in the last couple of 2 or 3 months basically, but it's quite one of the worst situation we have seen as far as the rupee history is concerned. Could you please tell us the reason behind this sudden fall in the rupees?
Correct. Rupee has seen recent weakness over the last couple of months, and there are reasons galore for these things. Primarily, what the market behaves and the rupee behaves is primarily in terms of the growth prospects, where the growth is supposed to come in. Unfortunately, Indian economy has not been growing at the levels it should supposed to grow. We have seen a GDP currently at below 5% figures, which is not definitely supporting the rupee. We have also seen some lag-ahead policy decisions by the government of India, which is not helping the rupee at all. There is negative sentiments all throughout the market. FIs is pulling money from the markets. Domestic investors are not getting faith in the government to invest more money in the markets. So basically, there are a lot of problems that's been happening in the rupee at this moment. And we are seeing some new levels being bridged, new levels being made, and there is no stopping here at this point of time. We might see some more higher levels at this point of time going ahead.
Well, I would not say $1 million question. Now it's just a dollar question I want to ask you is that who's doing the buying then?
There is no buying happening at this point. I mean, it's more of the selling that is happening. Otherwise, if you have seen buying happening, we'd have seen rupee getting stronger. But then it's more of the selling that is happening currently at this point. And the FIs are selling rupee and converting into dollar. The payments that is happening on the crude, that is happening on the dollar terms. So there's a lot of selling happening in the dollars. I mean, the rupee is selling and dollar has been buying. That is the reason. Buying is happening from the importers. Buying has been happening from the FIs. So there's a lot of buying happening for which rupee is being sold and dollar has been bought, and that is the reason rupee is getting
exactly. We also have over the phone line Pramit Brahmavat, as I told you that he is the CEO of Alpari Financial Services. Pramit, just a couple of days back you predicted that 65 is a mark that rupee will definitely touch. It seems that your prediction comes in reality so soon.
It's a very unfortunate event, yes, that rupee is getting weaker. The current weakness we are seeing is caused by the panic in equity market rather than any fundamental changes in Indian economy.
All right. Do you think that now the 65, as you rightly said, that is there anything rupee may touch again, a record low? Beyond 65 mark now?
Well, we have not seen these sort of levels in the past, so there is no way we can predict that how far it can go. But looking at the condition and the rally in dollar buying has caused the overbought situation for dollar at this point of time. So we may see some sort of correction coming or some sort of technical dollar selling can come at this level. Because also the exporters must be very happy at this level and they can come out and sell the dollar at this point of time. So we may see that sort of correction coming in. But the correction in the equity market or if equity market stops going down from this level, then that is very important for rupee, because at that level we will see some sort of FIs are coming back after looking and reviewing the situation. So once that happens, that the equity markets stabilize, and then we will see the rupee will start stabilizing as well.
Well, it's not just a rupee that we have seen here, but talking about the other Asian currencies in today's market, we have seen all of them have been depreciated compared to rupee.
That is true, but what we have seen in rupee has been weakening since June, and it's almost now more than 2 months, and we have not seen any sort of support level coming from rupee. It started all the way from 58, and now we are at the level of 64. So it seems that the weakness or the rupee depreciation has been overcome now, and we should see some sort of recovery in rupee from this level.
All right, Pramit, stay with us. We also have Manjit with us. Manjit, as Pramit rightly said, that we have seen quite a large depreciation into it now. Actually the steps taken by the RBI now and government, which is taking it now. How fruitful those steps, in a shorter period of time?
The market is interpreting all the steps that has been taken by the government in a pretty negative way. It is not being able to achieve what the government wants to do currently. That is heartening at the point of time. Because what currently is happening is the government is trying to control the outflows rather than trying to get more inflows into the systems, which is the market is not liking it very much. Moreover, what is happening is that the sentimental factor, because none of the measures that has been implemented by the government or proposed by the government is forward-looking or going to help the economy in the longer term or the shorter term. What is happening is primarily the markets are, getting into the mode where it is reading the things which is not there and trying to come to a conclusion that yes, we are getting into more into capital control measures, we are getting into more into a closed zone. So it is better to move out before the door closes for everybody else.
Exactly. Well, I will now move on to the, Dr. Sundararajan is smiling here probably. We have seen that as the rupee is sliding, the market is also falling the same way. It seems that the rupee will touch a record low and the market also will touch a record new low in the market action.
See, rupee is touching a record low almost every day over the last few days. It's not the depreciation that is so hurting than the pace at which it is depreciating. If you see rupee losing more than 1.5 rupee in a single day, again back on the back of it another rupee almost today, that's what is disturbing. Government is seized of the situation, they are taking the steps, but the rupee is simply not reacting or accepting those steps, and it's continuously depreciating. He said something about the equity market, which is perhaps the reason for the rupee. I would put it the other way, that the rupee is what equity players are looking at. When they see the kind of depreciation, the market keeps going down. So it's a vicious circle, that or this, whichever, but both are the reasons why. Another thing where perhaps the focus is less these days is the foreign institutional investors are not so much sellers in the equity markets as in the bond markets. Right from June onwards, they have been selling very heavily. In the month of June 2013, they sold 31,500 crores of bonds and that means that much of money went out of India. That was followed by another 17,000 crores in July. In the just first 15 trading sessions in August, they have already sold more than 20,000 crores. So the amount of money that has gone out of India through the debt route is much more than from the equity market. So that is, I think, more about the capital controls and whether they will be able to take out the money. These fears are very much there. As he very rightly put, I think they should, what I feel is it's high time that the government announced a bond issue through the PSU companies. That's being talked about, but I think we have to act pretty fast. We should target something like $10 billion at least coming in through that kind of issues. We did it in the past. The SBI came out with a Resurgent India bond. We collected $5 billion those days. That was very crucial inward remittances that we got. So I think we have to do something very concrete and pretty fast to see that, we'll
come back to the bond. Yeah, we'll come back to the bond issue. But before that, I want to ask Pramit, it seems that rupee, the forex market is more volatile compared to the equity market. Do you agree to that?
Well, absolutely. It's more of a vicious circle, as the other panelists have said, that one is triggering another. What we see in the previous month session, that the currency depreciation was triggering equity market, and what we have seen now, that the measures taken by the government are more of a drying out the liquidity, and that's how the global players have considered the Indian market, and Indian government is not pretty much certain about what they want to do, and institutional players do not want to operate in the uncertain environment, and that's why they are pulling out right now. We also have to see that how we can make the market stable. But the important thing here, the measures taken by government are more of a medium-term measures rather than short-term, and they have accepted that they have to live with the rupee weakening up to an extent. And when the medium-term measures taken by government comes into the play, they will see the rupee appreciate. So government has accepted the current depreciation, and they would like to go through the pain at this point of time, but would like to apply more of a medium-term rather than a short-term measures.
Right here. Well, Monchit, want to heard a word that now we have seen the numbers. Basically, we're getting a beat IIP number. Now, inflation number will also come in, but those numbers are not comfortable enough to support these entire rally. Now, how to look at these numbers, because we have seen the insufficient FDI inflows. We have seen the import bill has been rising now. How do you attribute these things now to rupee fall? Basically, all these going to have a worst impact on the overall rupee sentiment.
Correct. What happens is primarily the weaker IIP numbers, the weaker GDP numbers are definitely putting a pressure on the rupee. And all these factors are long-term factors. You cannot contain the inflation in a very short-term process, nor do we can boost the GDP figures in a very short-term measure. These are long-term measures which needs to be tackled at this point of time. The current scenario, what the market anticipates or expects from the government is basically some positive thinking, positive processes for the economic reforms that needs to be done, which will give enough impetus to the market to consider that yes, the government is thinking positive and in the right direction, and the fate that has been lost in the market, the negative sentiment that has been playing in the market will definitely come back and help the rupee to strengthen better.
We also have, talking about Dr. Sindharaj and the reforms Mr. Monchit is talking about, we have seen here that many bills are still pending in the parliament. We hope that the food security bill come into soon. Apart from that, the other FDI norms, FDI bills have been pending in the in today's monsoon session. How do you look at this picture? It looks quite grim that these bills will be passed in the current session.
That's again a $1 trillion question. See, the policy paralysis is something that we have been dealing with before the rupee started depreciating. At least after the current fall, we have seen some action, some hurried action on the part of the government. Hopefully, they will continue on with the reforms, but the parliament is a big issue. Food security bill, I don't know, it was supposed to be tabled today. I don't know whether it's being discussed today. These are crucial issues. If food security is something else, but economic, lots of bills are pending. Just now we had the company bill. We have so many other bills that are pending there. The pension regulatory authority bill is also very important. So many economic reforms bills are pending. I think they should be very, very speedy and swift about going about this legislative process.
Exactly. We'll come back to discussion. Before that, we'll take a quick market action. What's happening in the market and in the equity market? Basically, we'll again go back to our guest Pramit, who is joining us over the phone line. Pramit, it's not just that dollar that we're focusing on. A very interesting fact we got is that pound has also crossed the 100 level mark.
That's right. I think the measures taken by government of sucking the liquidity and bond buying on a weekly basis, that's causing that the mayhem in the bond market. But what the analysts in this field is saying that RBI may not have enough resources to keep buying the bonds, and they can run out of the funds available to them. That's another issue that we have to look at, how far they can stretch bond buying program.
Well, exactly. But do you think that this will replicate to appreciation of the rupee? And if that's so, what are the level that probably the rupee will get settled down?
Well, as one of the panelists said, that the biggest selling happened in the bond market compared to the equity market. And maybe this is the way RBI is trying to bring the foreign institutions back in Indian market by guaranteeing a kind of a bond buying. But I don't think it's going to work, because overall economic condition of India is not looking good. So irrespective of the rate of bonds, it will be difficult for RBI to convince the foreign institutional investor to come back and participate in the bond market. So what that during in process of bringing the bond players back, RBI end up losing even the equity players, because the measures taken that has affected adversely to the equity market, and we have not seen any bond investors are coming back.
All right, I want to come back to Dr. Sindharaj here. Basically, as a bond issue, obviously we have seen here that the one reason that we probably may get some support from that, but the RBI have taken some steps. Do you think that those steps have affected the overall market action? That is also a reason behind this downfall in the market?
So the liquidity has been sucked out of the system, and therefore the interest rates are not risen directly. They could have perhaps increased the interest rates rather than go through the indirect way of tightening. And what obviously it has resulted is rising interest rates, falling bond prices, rising bond yields. The whole thing has gone haywire. And I think RBI is primarily responsible. Instead of doing it indirectly, they could have done very directly by increasing the interest rate. It doesn't matter. And they went on to clarify that these are short-term measures and very soon we'll come back, etc. But all the same, it has hit the sentiment. And another very important thing that is going around in the market is the fear of a rating downgrade. With the rupee going the way it is, and foreign institutional, for the rating agencies like Moody's, etc., they have already indicated, and economy not picking up, rupee depreciating like this, the inflation continues to be high, the interest rates have risen. So all these are signs that there can be some kind of rating downgrade. Already some foreign brokerage houses have downgraded India from an investment destination to a stable kind of scenario. So if we get into a worse scenario from rating agencies as far as the external sovereign rating is concerned, then we really had it, and that's one of the biggest fears that the market is facing right
Exactly. We're talking about the number first. What are the number that you think that market will get settled down on an intraday basis? As we have seen here, the quite up and down movement, though the market is quite positive, recovered a little bit, but in spite of that.
Fortunately, around the BSE Sensex level of 18,000 or maybe 5320 on the Nifty, we have seen some kind of support coming in there. We have seen an intraday rally today. After a fall of nearly 280 points, the market recovered almost 200 points. But I'm not very enthused by these things, and basically the index is just about 30-50 stocks. But if you look at the broader market and the way the market has been beaten down in some of the mid-cap and smaller cap companies, they are, I think, levels which were even lower than the levels of October 2008. And therefore, we are not really looking at the market when we look at the Sensex. There is, I think, even in terms of Sensex, some of the stronger companies like IT companies, pharmaceuticals, FMCG, these were strong companies till a couple of days back. But since yesterday, we have seen some selling coming in, even these large companies like TCS, Infi, some pharmaceutical companies have corrected for the first time. When the whole market was correcting, this sector was fairly strong because of the rupee weakness, but we have seen weakness in the stocks of these companies as well, which means that it's some more downside definitely there.
All right, we'll come back to you. We'll go to the Pramit before and this discussion. Pramit, a word of advice from you to the investors basically in such a volatile forex market.
Well, I think the forex market right now is more of a wait and watch situation, and we need to see that where the rupee is settling. Because what we have seen in last week and this week is more of a domestic effect, where the rupee has weakened against dollar due to the domestic market conditions. The worry now is that when the QE3 tapering, if at all it's announced during this week, then the global market will also get weaker against dollar, and whether the rupee is going to get participant into that rally of getting weaker against dollar as well. If it happens, then we will see that the lowers of 65 can be achieved in 1 or 2 days only, or maybe further than that. But hopefully, rupee will have a domestic market condition and it will sustain at the level of 64, 64.50 kind of levels.
We wish that we stop the rupee free fall should be stopped at 64, as you rightly said there, but it seems that quite difficult here. Manjit, what do you say about it? 64 is what Pramit said, but seems that the market and what described Dr. Sundararajan also looking at the market conditions seems quite difficult for the rupee to sustain at this level.
No, yes, primarily because currently at this level there should have been some kind of a profit booking that should have happened in the market, but unfortunately that is not happening because the sentiment is low and people are not sure, the investors are not sure where the rupee is going to go. So they still anticipate that yes, we will see some 65 levels in the near term, so we will make some profit booking at this point of time. But the most bigger concern that is there currently is the high foreign exchange debt that is being owned by the government of India and the corporate, which is close to around $170 billion, which is supposed to be repayable by 31st March 2014. That is a bigger pressure. That is anywhere down the line. So there is still a sentimental value that yes, rupee might see some more weakening, and that is the reason profit booking is not happening. Unfortunately, that is not a right thing to happen. But that's how the market is playing at this point of time.
All right, Manjit, thank you for joining with us. Thank you. Appreciate all of you for sharing your time. Appreciate your time and hope that investors, especially those who are viewers watching this program, must have got some idea that where exactly rupee is turning. We have seen quite a volatile situation in the market, but it seems that there is a single ray of hope for them also if you wait and watch for some more time and hope that where exactly the rupee is turning. Now let's quick look at the headlines.